Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's podcast. I have the honor to invite Professor Ron Pacun and Yelang Bin to this talk show. We're going to discuss about the Democrat candidate for the 2028 presidential election. Yelang Bin, I don't know if you have seen our last GOP rating episode. We actually gave scores to all the candidates in the GOP camp, the top five players we believe that in play. So today we're going to do the same for Democrat. I actually have Yelanbing did a few research we actually did last time, and the result is quite shocking to me. So it turns out, Yelanbing, you are outsider left here.
Yeah,
Are you surprised about the result? Like
yeah.
I saw
Because
I saw you were on the right side than me. I was here, I was an ambivalent right here, but you were actually outsider left.
yes, the left and right is kind of strange. Because last time when I was using eight dimension something, the other test, I was getting 78% liberal.
Liberal, right? So the
Yes,
AD, right? The AD test. Okay.
yeah, I was getting 78% liberal.
So it turns
Oh,
out you are a lefty. You're a Democrat supporter.
maybe. Still
Maybe.
learning, still
Still
learning,
learning. But you
still
don't
learning.
vote. You don't
I
vote.
don't vote. Not
Yeah,
yet.
because he's in a blue state, so it doesn't matter like if you vote or not, right? Like your state is already decided.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if I vote or not. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start with our candidate here. So, Professor, the first one, we're going to rate this one electability, and we're going to rate this five candidate. Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, AOC, Alexander Ocasio-Cortez. Did I pronounce the name correct, Professor?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Mayor Pete, I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Buttigieg.
So, yeah, okay. Kamala Harris, our former vice president, our last Democrat candidate, and Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania. So I'm going to start with Gavin Newsom. Professor, what do you think about his electability? Like from one to five, what score are you going to give him?
Well, I'm going to give him a four. I think that's a fairly generous rating. There's not been a strong history in the Democratic Party of electing senators or governors from California. It's
Hmm.
not worked well. And
Yeah.
he will have that against him. The liberal from California is running, but what he's doing, the way he is using social media, the way he is mirroring Trump, you can see a steady climb in the favorable polls for him. His popularity is increasing among Democrats, so I think he's trending right now, as you would hope.
Yeah. What do you think about it, Ilan?
He's a five to me.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's just all about eyeballs. I've been seeing all the news about him. I haven't seen any news about the other candidate much. So all I see is Gavin Newsom. For me, you
Hmm.
get the eyeball, very high chance you're gonna win.
Okay. I'm actually going to give him a three here. The reason is I think he's definitely gaining a lot of media coverage and popularity among the Democrat. But the problem is I don't think him, the party become more popular. And I think he's still, the typical elite led Democrat candidate. He is not, like your AOC or Bernie Sanders wing. So I just don't know how he would kind of play in the primary in 2028.
Right.
It's it's just tough. I'll give him
Yeah,
a three here.
he got a lot of bad news like cheating on his best friend.
Oh yeah,
And
he had a lot of problem, like he's not very popular in California, like the
Two
people in California.
recalls in California. I mean, when you talk to a lot of people from California, I personally don't know anyone from California who likes him.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like I heard a lot of bad reviews of his performance there because he looks like a performance artist. But I
Right.
do know like he does gain a lot of social media coverage for all the stuff he was doing here. So yeah, I understand why you guys gave him high ratings, but I gave him a three. AOC, Professor, what do you think?
I have a three for her.
Hmm.
I think she is very bright. I think she will be able to speak to the average person, the workers. I think she's so young. I mean, she will just meet the legal requirement to run
Hmm.
age 35. Uh, so I think it would be difficult for her, but I never would count her out of anything. I just think she's very resourceful and in many ways very relatable.
Hmm. Ilami, what do you think?
Also a three. I think she's very popular. I don't agree with her logic on many things. Like one time I was hearing she talking about Elon Musk being the dumbest billionaire. I'm like, that is not possible.
Okay.
And I also heard she doesn't like the prison system at all. She want to abolish the prison. I don't know if that's true or not, but I did some digging. So pretty much she's leaning towards no prison, just everybody be nice. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
kind of too much.
Yeah.
Not gonna work, kind of thing. So three.
Yeah. I'll give her a three as well. The reason is I think she's too young and she can definitely excite the base, in the progressive wing, but I don't think she can get buy-in from the middle ground voters or even some of the leaning Republican ones. They'll think her as too crazy or her policy too progressive. And also, I think she just lacked the experience to become the president. She probably should run for Senate or like other higher ranked officer than the president. President stage is too big for her, I think. Mayor Pitt, Professor.
Uh, I would give Mayor Pete a three. I think that he clearly has a problem with people of color.
Hmm.
Did not have strong support when he was mayor in South Bend, and that has maintained throughout all polling. And,
Hmm.
rightly or wrongly, I think it's myself personally sad, but I think that his sexuality will become an issue too.
Yeah.
And it's there. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality as to whether or not he is electable. I think these last two we've talked about, AOC and Mayor Pete, I think there's a greater likelihood they could run for vice president than president.
I agree. Yelan Bing, what do you think?
I would give her a one. The same reason with Gavin Newsom. Seems like he doesn't get any coverage to me at least. I only hear about his name. I haven't heard anything exciting or interesting or drama. I haven't heard anything about this person. So from my experience, one.
Yeah. I'll give him a two. A lot of reasons. So first of all, I think inside the Democrat Party, he looks too elite. He cannot speak, the progressive language, and he will not be regarded as a genuine progressive player. So the progressive wing won't support him. Also, he lacks the people with colors support. When he was a mayor, he had a lot of controversies for the
Yeah,
police office
yeah,
drama there. So that's a problem. And also for GOP voters, his identity as a gay will be a problem. Like I think
yeah.
there's a lot of voters on the GOP side. They will take that as a big issue. So for that reason, I don't think he is electable, like compared to the other two candidates. Yeah. All right, Kamala Harris, professor.
I'm gonna say, and this is the same as Newsom, and it's a very generous four. Uh,
Yeah,
the main reason is that she has run, and
yeah,
I think she learned from what she did wrong, and her mistakes were many. So I think in that regard, she will understand the structure. She would try to correct errors from last time. Certainly, her name is well known, so it's a generous four. It's similar to Newsom. I think she still has a lot of liabilities, like Newsom, including for her, she's a loser. She lost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Yellow Ming, what do you think?
I'll do a three. If AOC got three, Kamala Harris can get a three. To me, they are very
Okay.
similar.
Very similar. I'm
Yeah,
gonna give her a two. I just don't think she should run.
yeah,
I mean, I think she is a weak candidate to begin with. The only
yeah,
reason she was running in 2024 is because Biden want to play identity politics and pick her as a
right.
vice president. Even for that job, she did a terrible job. I still voted for her in 2024 because I don't like Trump more. So like that's the only reason I vote for her. But if it's in primary, I would be have a hard time voting for her. I would not be excited for her to run, you
Yeah.
know. Josh Shapiro, professor.
I'm going to give Shapiro a three.
Hmm.
I think he has a lot going for him, and we'll talk about it in some of the subsequent dimensions. But I think the Israel issue is going to be difficult for him.
Hmm.
You look at the numbers in the Democratic Party, you have a large portion of that party who still supports Israel, but doesn't support Netanyahu and what's going on right now in
Hmm.
Gaza.
Yeah.
I think Shapiro will have a hard time. If that war continues, I think this will be a very delicate issue for him. As he is rightly so, he's very proud of being Jewish, but it also kind of puts him on a spot in discussing the Israel issues, and he may be viewed as out of step with the majority of the Democratic Party there.
Hmm. You know what I mean? What do you think?
also three should be higher, but similar issue the professor was mentioning. Because I heard one story today in the PBD podcast. He was covering a murder for a person from Israel, something like that. But I don't
Oh
know if
yeah,
it's true or
I
not.
heard there's a controversy. Is that murder or raper?
Murder or some
I
kind of
can't.
criminal
Yeah, I can't.
behavior.
Yeah, criminal. Yeah, I don't know. Like there's some. I think like the U.S. Israel policy is kind of completely messed up. Like both parties are kind of
Yeah,
um
and
yeah,
the Jewish descent has never been a U.S. president yet, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
I'll
three
give
should
him
be higher,
yeah,
but
yeah.
three.
I'll give him a three. For a lot of the reasons you guys mentioned. I just think like. For him, his capability is definitely presidential. Like he could be a good president if he really got elected. But the problem is like inside the Democrat Party, there's
Right.
a huge wing supporting the Palestinian people, and they do not support anyone who stand with Netanyahu. But Josh
Yeah.
Shapiro made it clear he want to, support Israel. So that could be a problem. Even though that problem is still evolving, but like I don't know, like when it comes to 2028, would Israel still have a war in Gaza? Like, would that be
Right.
settled? I mean, that could be a big variable here. So I'll give him a three here. Okay, now move on to the message clarity, Professor, for Gavin Newsom.
Well, I think I would give Newsom a four here. I think that um, I think he's a bright guy, and I think that he is able to cut to the heart of things. And
Mhm.
I personally think what he's doing by putting a mirror to Trump is very smart. I think it is calling out how ridiculous some of the things Trump
Yeah,
are,
I know.
and it's saying, is this what we want? Is this the kind of behavior we want from our president as he's selling merchandise? So
Mhm.
I think he is making some very strong. I think he has a good staff, a very smart staff who can help him craft very crisp messages that will be generally received well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
I'll give a 3. Because sometimes when I hear his message, it's kind of weird. Yesterday, I was listening to a video about him talking about ICE in the voting booth. Like saying Trump's a bad guy. He was saying ICE to the voting place, but it's voting place. You should be a citizen already. So why are
Yeah.
you worrying about that? So
Yeah.
3.
Sorry. I'm gonna give him a three as well. The reason is like I kind of see right now he is kind of mimicking Trump. He's trolling Trump by like behaving like a Democrat version of Trump. The problem is Trump is authentic and he is acting. So I don't know how much for the voters, like particular voter who are not either strong Trump supporter or Trump haters, how much of those voters would appreciate Newsom's behavior? Because eventually you want to come across as a very, how to say, authentic person to the voters. I think right now he looks very performative and looks like an actor to me. So right now, so for me, I just don't feel he's connected with me. Yeah.
Let me just add one more point. I know our
Mm.
purpose isn't to debate here because I think everyone's making great points. But I think if you just stick to the Democratic Party, I think there's a huge number of Democrats who just see Trump as a schoolyard bully.
Yeah.
Just as we tell our children when you're faced with a schoolyard bully, you can expose them by calling them out because that's the last thing they want to have happen.
Hmm.
So many Democrats have been waiting for somebody to take the bully on, and
Yeah.
all they've found is a lot of spineless politicians in both parties.
Yeah.
I give Newsom a lot of credit for what he's doing right now. It may or may not be authentic, but what he is doing is putting a mirror up to Trump and his behavior for everyone to see how ridiculous it is. And when you look at his polling numbers over
Hmm.
the last 2 months, they have gone up dramatically. I mean,
Hmm.
maybe a multiple of 3. That to me says what he is doing is resonating. That's obviously not going to be enough by any means. But what it says to me is he is demonstrating he's willing to take on a bully, and he has a good staff working with him, coming up with very clever ways to do that. That's why I score him as I do.
Hmm. Got it. Yeah, I agree. I think for a certain group, they definitely want to see, someone stand up to Trump. The only problem is like Trump is not running in 2028. So it's gonna be like a
Oh,
bunch of
Bruce, it's way too early to say that, brother.
Yeah, okay.
I
If
just
Trump
yesterday, just yesterday, a guy walked up on my street with a Trump 2028 flag. Just
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay. That is I mean if Trump can run, we can get Obama run again, you know.
Yeah, it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's over if that happens.
Okay, for AOC, Professor, what do you think?
I give her a 4.
Hmm.
Like her or not like her, I think she does the best job saying, let's get away from labels. Let's get away from calling people liberals and conservatives and right and left. I want to tell you what I'm for, and let me know if you think it's reasonable. Right now, she's echoing a lot of Sanders comments, and I've watched a number of Sanders' recent speeches, and
Hmm.
he's hitting it. He is connecting with do regardless of party. Do you think it's right that one person spent 27 or $270 million to elect a president this year? Do you think it's right that that same person's wealth is equal to 52% of the US population combined? So
Hmm.
the way they're using numbers in comparative fashion, she's she can mimic a lot of what Sanders has been saying. If she can keep on the argument of don't label, just think about this. Are you satisfied with the way this country has evolved? I think those messages are going to score some points.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
As for, I understand her message. Sometimes it has to be not so obvious. Like if you ask her about illegal immigrant, she'll be like, "No, nobody's illegal yet," kind of thing. Because you can't really use the obvious word. It'll be like sound like a trumper. So four, because I get her message
That's
most of
Yeah.
the time.
I'm gonna give her a 4. I think she can use a lot of rhetorics Bernie Sanders have been using. I think Bernie
yeah,
Sanders is like the mentor for her
yes,
and try
yes.
to pass on the torch to her. So I think she can definitely build a strong message for the progressive agenda. And I think Zoran Mandani was doing a great
Hmm.
demonstration in New York
Yep.
City. Progressive left could win elections, at least win like primaries in Democrat Party bigly. So I think she can definitely pick up a lot of that playground. And also she's very good on social media. She has a lot of following on Twitter and she can do TikTok pretty well. Is good looking, is very presentable in the video. So I think she can use a lot of the skills Zola Madani was been doing in the TikTok.
And I think that the test for her is going to be you in most of these elections, there's a push toward the middle.
Hmm.
You have to accept some of that and still do your best to hold on to your base.
Yes.
I think she's going to be skilled enough to go a bit toward the middle, but still hold on to her base. I really do.
Hmm.
She's going to understand to be elected, she's going to have to do that. A,
Yeah,
That's
a straight progressive candidate is not going to win.
that's
exactly.
the exact point I heard from PPD podcast. If she goes to middle, she will probably be the number one candidate.
Well, I think she's going to have to. I think any if the far left wants to make an issue over Sydney Sweeney's genes, the Democrats are going to have a problem in 2028.
Oh yeah,
But
I
I don't
totally
think
agree.
I don't think she will go to the middle. Once you go left, you
It,
gotta
it,
go
it can
far
be
left,
subtle
kind of
moves.
thing.
It doesn't have to be a huge leap. And again,
Mm.
I think she's very skilled at how she tries to define things and diffuse arguments that are all based on ideology and labeling people. I think she is the best at that. And I think she could only get better. I still think the age issue is huge for her.
Yeah,
Mm.
Mayor Pitt, Professor.
I'm going to give Mayor Pete a 3 here. It just I think he did a very good job as transportation secretary. I think he got a lot of national play uh, through the infrastructure bill. I think he's very smart. Of this group, he and AOC would be the two that I would least want to debate.
Hmm.
But I think that just his ability to connect with multiple constituencies seems limited, and he does have a record in South Bend that he's going to be forced to explain in some cases.
Hmm. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Have to copy Professor's answer on this one because I don't know him much. I haven't heard any message from him.
I saw he go on to Fox News a lot. You know, he debate
Yeah,
with
he's
right-wing
willing to do that.
commentator. Yeah,
Does he do any podcast?
I think he did. He's a very articulate person.
Yes,
He debates. He's well educated. He
yes.
is your typical elite politician. You know.
Okay, I'll try a couple video.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
I think you might find it worthwhile. I agree with what Bruce just said, how you
you
could.
gave him a 3, right? Message clarity.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 4. I think he is well spoken and
Yeah.
he can definitely go on all kinds of podcasts. Like I definitely can see him going on, Joe Rogan show, all the right-wing
Yep.
podcasters. He could be sitting there and talking about policies and debating for 3 hours, no problem. For that part, I think he should be good. I think he probably shares some of the issues with Gavin Newsom. They just looks very elite and less authentic. I think that's a problem. They have to figure out how to communicate better. It's funny because Trump lies a lot, but his base view him very authentic because he tell them like, yeah, I just lie. Like this is just me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's interesting though, he's losing support among the high school educated supporters. What was such a strong part of his base. I think he's down about 7 percentage points there. So I think there's going to be opportunity for the Democrats to connect with working voters who have become disillusioned with Trump. I think there's
Hmm. Yeah.
enough room there that the Democrats can seize on that. Could Mayor Pete do it? I agree with all you said. He is very articulate. He doesn't get rattled, and he
Yeah.
will stick to his talking points. And if he's well coached and hitting the right points, he could be a force.
Yeah.
Oh, I found a couple of videos. He's on Julie B and Flagrant.
Oh yeah, he is very good at debating and he speaks really well.
But his sexual orientation is gonna be a big problem.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh.
gonna be a problem. But like, come on. Besson can be our Secretary of Treasury, He could be a MAGA as well. So
Hmm.
maybe MAGA is over that part. Kamala Harris, Professor.
Well, I can't give her after this last campaign. I can't give her more than a 3.
Okay.
Anyone that would be asked a question, what would you do differently than Biden? It's who says nothing comes to mind. I can't, but when you look at the debate, she did very good, and that's why Trump wouldn't debate her a second time. I think I don't agree with people who say she's not bright. I think she is bright, and
Hmm.
I just think uh, that moment was too big for her. Maybe next time it will be a little bit more reachable. I don't know. Most often you don't get a second chance. Richard
Hmm.
Nixon was an exception. We do have some exceptions to it, but I just don't. I would give her a 3 with message clarity. Hopefully, she's better coached next time.
Yeah. Bean, what do you think?
I'll put a 1.
One.
This is
Message
like
clarity.
if you like a student try to learn English and you just watch your oral speech, you be like, "What's coconut falling on the tree?" You gotta put what's behind the idea, the path, the way. You just you put all the word together. It's like I understand all the English and I just don't understand the message. It's
Okay.
just no message there, just words
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. I'll give her a 2. I think same was what you guys just mentioned. I think like if she couldn't go on a Joe Rogan show and she just have problem, sitting an interview for longer than an hour, that gonna be a problem. So I'll give her a 2. Message clarity for Josh Shapiro.
I would give Shapiro a 4. I think he's very articulate. I still am one who wonders what would have happened. I think he would have had some of the same issues that we talked about
Mhm.
uh, earlier about his electability. I think that may have been a factor of why he wasn't selected for uh, the vice presidential slot. But he is a very bright, articulate person who can speak in ways that resonate. When you look at his approval rating in Pennsylvania, it's very high. So
Yeah.
There's something
He,
about his style that resonates with people.
yeah, I would just mention that one story I read from a book recently published. Josh Shapiro act very aggressive during
Yeah,
the interview, and he was talking about, okay, here's what I want to do if I become the VP. And the Kamala team was
yeah,
like, hold on, we're interviewing you. Like, we're not saying like you're already the VP, so like you just act like a dick, like an asshole.
yeah,
And someone speculated that he intentionally did that. So he just doesn't want to be the second banana because think about it. If he becomes the vice president and he won, the earliest he can run for president would be like 8 years later, right? Like in 2032.
yeah.
If if they lost, that's going to be on him. He will be viewed as a loser. So it's like a lose-lose situation. So he would rather staying out of that. And also, I think he probably saw some of the internal pollings in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. Kamala Harris was like lagging behind. So I guess that's probably the reason he just
He,
like did that.
he's very ambitious, and sometimes the way he takes credit for things. I mean, take the NFL draft, for instance. I
Hmm.
don't know if you guys follow American football, but that's a big deal to land the draft. The Steeler organization has been trying to get it in Pittsburgh for many, many years. There were a lot of folks that were involved, but Shapiro tried to take all the credit for it. Soon as
Hmm.
that announced, he said, "Oh, Roger Goodell, the commissioner of football, was probably tired of getting my phone calls, essentially saying, you have me to thank." I wrote
Yeah.
him a letter about that. I didn't get a response.
Yeah.
I wrote him a letter saying, I expect a little better from you. I don't expect to see this kind of grandstanding and taking credit for something you at best were a marginal player in.
Hmm. Yeah. All right. What do you think?
I think it's a four. I only hear him talking maybe a couple times. He sounds very intentional, very deliberate. Everything he wants to say, I get it. So four. Maybe the one is no, it's your real stuff. Kind of
Yeah.
maybe it can't be too obvious or something.
Yeah, I'll give him a four as well. I think he is really good at crafting his message, and he's very well spoken. And when he give a speech, you can feel like he's like performing sometimes looks like Obama.
Mhm.
All right, for coalition growth, Gavin Newsom.
Well, here, I don't see Newsom really growing the coalition. I think if I were to redo this dimension for the Democrats, it's regaining the coalitions they've had in the past.
Hmm.
I would give Newsom a three here. I think I don't see. I think it's going to be difficult for him to reach groups that have not been traditionally part of the Democratic circle. So if that's how we're defining coalition growth, I don't think he would be the best in this category.
Do you think he can win the blue wall? Because like that's Biden's coalition, in 2020. Biden win the
If
blue
he can
wall plus
appeal,
yeah.
yes, and he would have to win the blue wall. He's going to have to shed a little of the leftist California image and get down to where people are and talking about, I've studied a lot of presidential elections. I've taught
Hmm.
courses on presidential elections, and I see a lot of I wasn't alive at that time. I'm old, but not this old. I see a lot of 1948 here,
Hmm.
where the Democrats have to go back to their roots, to farmers, to labor, to Catholics, to Jews. And now, you have the LGBTQ community that they need to maintain. You have
Yeah.
to have messaging that recaptures those constituencies that by and large the Democrats have been losing as the Republicans have branded themselves the party of the common person.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the problem for Democrat is like they play so much with the identity politics and they forgot
Yeah,
all the,
yeah, Yep.
the union, the labor,
Yep.
the farmers, the blue collar workers
Yep.
who really like support Democrat in the past.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
I think it's four. Same reason for the number one category. It's all about eyeball. It's
Hmm.
doing a lot of eyeballing and got a lot of coverage, and it's just all about fighting, fighting, fighting. And when people see someone willing to fight, just like okay, maybe he's fighting for something good. For the lower at the like lower information people, we're like, oh, he's fighting, must be something good, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that could be that's an interesting argument because like if you think about a lot of low information voter, right? So they just like doesn't pay attention to politics. And when they turn on some podcast, it's on Governor Newsom. They, oh, that's a guy I heard about him talking. He seems smart. Like I'll just like vote him. That could
And
happen.
he also predicted 2028 Trump. If Trump running for 2028, he will be the best one to fight because he already
Okay.
says no fight that very idea. Now Obama, because Obama doesn't say anything about fighting right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So four. You'll get
Okay.
bigger.
Yeah. I'm kind of torn about this score. I'll give him a three. I think I definitely see the argument Yang Ming is making, but I just still don't know if a governor from California could win the blue wall. Like he just looks too elite, you know.
Yeah.
Biden was the last Democrat candidate who win the blue wall. You know, Hillary lost, Kamala lost, right? So yeah, I give him a three here. For AOC, Professor.
Yeah, this is tough. I'll probably give her a three as well. I see most of the Democrats similar as well in coalition growth. Although with AOC, I think she has one of the better chances of crafting arguments that are going to reach rank and file workers. I think that she just has a nice way of positioning her arguments that can break through some of the labeling and say, does this make sense to you? And,
Hmm.
hit people with statistics on income inequality, hit people with statistics on healthcare, and say, we need you back. We want you to return because traditionally this has been your home. I see her between a three and a four here.
Hmm. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I say two. I don't see a lot of message change. If you like AOC before, you still like her. If you don't like AOC, you won't change. For Gavin Newsom, it's like fighting harder. AOC from the beginning was hiding at the maximum. Like all the words, all the saying, you cannot go any worse to fight Trump. So you're just not gonna join AOC if you didn't join her before. So
Hmm.
two.
I'm going to give her a four. The reason is I see the populist
Yeah,
movement in
yeah,
America is getting bigger and bigger, the
yeah,
tide. I think GOP has been taken over by the populist movement. It's time for the Democrat Party being taken over. Zara Mandani is your signal there. So I think GOC, if she can build a strong coalition across the blue collar group, the progressive, and she can win some of the Sanders voter who voted
yeah,
for Trump in 2016 or 2024, and who voted for Biden in 2020. So I think that's a group she can win back for the Democrat Party. Unlike Newsom, I think AOC's message could connect with them, particularly when they become disillusioned with Trump's policy, like with the big beautiful bill take away
yeah.
their health care and take
Right.
away their food stamps. That could be a problem.
Well said. Well
Yeah.
said.
Mayor Pitt, Professor.
Uh, I probably will go three here as well.
Hmm.
I think there's potential there. We've already talked about some of his liabilities, but he can craft. I think the possibility of him getting on the stages that could give him the opportunity to connect with people he hasn't quite connected with in the past. I think that possibility exists. I think he would take advantage of those opportunities, but I still would rate him a three.
Hmm. Yalan Bing, what do you think?
I have to copy Professor's answer. Don't know much about him, but
So
I watched a
three.
couple of videos. Yeah, three.
Okay. I'll give him a two. I think he will be really struggling with people with color and the working class. Unlike AOC, actually, I forgot to mention, like AOC is very popular with Latinos, you
Yeah,
know? So that's another thing Mayor Pete doesn't have. I just think like
right.
he will be having a lot of trouble trying to convince the African Americans voter to come out and vote for him, getting excited for him. That's gonna be tough. So I'll give
Yeah.
him a two. Kamala Harris.
Uh, I would give her a three as well. And that's a generous three. I just feel like she had her shot. It didn't work. She may be a better candidate next time. But her ability, I think that she's a bit polarizing. And I think that you know, she was muddied a lot with, the 60 minutes issue and just her ability to craft messages and I just think she's a little bit of damaged goods here.
Hmm.
That's going to be tough for her to grow a coalition.
Yelan Bing.
I'll give her one. Because number one reason, I don't think she wants to grow the coalition. Because during the presidency, she doesn't even try much. I think if you give her a
No,
chance
that
to
that
quit,
I don't agree because
why?
she apparently tried to reach out to the Republican voters. She has like
Right.
Dick Cheney's daughter, right? Like try to kind of go on a tour, give
Oh,
speech and show. Yeah, she's trying to build a bigger
I think
coalition
that's
with
kind of
Republican
forced.
voters.
That's kind of false because you have no option to quit. If she get offer an option to quit, I think she will quit. That's my
Okay,
opinion. So she doesn't want to grow and she doesn't work hard enough. So it's just two A and B together, just one. It's not
okay,
gonna get any bigger unless she try. Then I
okay.
change my opinion.
Yeah. I'll give her a three. I think she have a certain, um, exposure to the African American voters and people with color. So that coalition will still come and vote for her. I do agree with Yelan Bing, like she had a hard time, even winning the Biden's coalition. Apparently she lost this seven swing state. So Josh Shapiro, professor.
Uh, I will give him a three because I don't think he gets out of the Democratic primaries. If
Hmm.
he would get out of the Democratic primaries and become the candidate, he might have the best chance of all of them to broaden the coalition and to
Oh
reach
yeah.
Trump voters. So I give him a three because I think he will have a hard time getting out of the Democratic primaries. If he does, he's going to grow the coalition.
Yeah. Yelan Bing.
I'll give him a three because he talked very good. I think the biggest problem just Israel. That's the biggest problem. If somehow he can figure it out, then the number will get bigger.
Yeah. I'm gonna give him a four. I think he is actually quite attractive to the middle voters.
Yeah,
Like whoever I'm not just thinking about like he is definitely in the Democrat Party, he will have some trouble with the progressive because
yeah,
of the Israel-Palestinian issue. But I think he definitely shows people the possibility of finding someone who care about policy instead of all the drama and the name calling and personal attack. I think he could become, stable for those voters like to vote for. in 2028. All right, money and machinery for Gavin Newsom.
Oh, I think he would have to be a four. I think he will have big donors in support of him. I think he has a strong staff. I think he would tap into sort of the Democratic machine quite well. I think I would say four.
Yalambing, what do you think?
Yeah, the same reason. Four. There's no question about it.
Mhm. I'm going to give him a five. I think he is going to raise a lot of money. He's from California. He is
Right.
very rich. He has very rich donors in Democrat Party, and he also have a strong network. So I think he will be raising a lot of money in 2028.
Yeah, I think you're right.
AOC professor.
I think I would give her a three. I think if you compare her to someone like Newsom, it's just not as strong. I think she would have the support she would get, though. These would be passionate supporters. So I think her machinery could be the most aggressive and the most loyal uh, group maybe we've ever seen. But it's the money I don't think she would get on par with, say, a Newsom.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Three, because she always talking about hating billionaires, so she probably can't get too much billionaires. That's why she gets a three.
Actually, I don't agree with you guys. I think AOC is at least a four. The reason is like I don't know if you guys track her numbers. She raised a lot of money as a house member, as a uh, as her current stage, she raised more than the person who are ranked much higher than her in the Democrat Party. That shows her capability of raising money. As mid of 2025, she already raised $15 million.
Yeah, yeah, Bruce, that's a wonderful point. I guess what I'm thinking is the bigger donors are going to have to make choices. They're going to spread it around some, but I mean, they'll hedge their bets, but they're still going to go all in for some candidates. And I'm not sure she would be perceived as electable to get the kind of money that, say, a Newsom would get. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's my rationale there. You're right. She's very good at raising money. I think for me, uh, she's a Democratic VP candidate. That's where I see her.
Mhm. For Mayor Pete.
I think Mayor Pete would be maybe a two here. I just don't know. Maybe that's a little harsh, but I'm not sure he would. I don't know. I think he's a good candidate, too, maybe a little harsh. But again, I think there's a comparative process here. This one, more than any, is about comparing the candidates and where he would rank in terms of. And the point you made about Newsom was very, very strong. There's only so much of the big money to go around, and I'm not sure he would be getting the biggest chunk of it, I guess I would say.
Hmm. Yeah, let me what do you think?
I'll get a three, with my limited knowledge about him. Is based on my research right now. I saw him attending podcasts quite a lot compared to all the other candidates. I know Gavin Newsom started a podcast, but he didn't do it well. I think if this Mayor Pete can do a lot more podcasts, he'll raise a lot of money.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah,
So,
I think
so
I
three.
think Mayor Pete is a three. I think like Gavin Newsom can attract a lot more money. So those voter, yeah, I agree with Professor. I think he or AOC are really good vice
Yeah.
president candidate to unite the group that you did not cover, like those particular identity politics or a certain progressive wing. You try to kind of lure them into your coalition, that's the way to go. But as a main candidate, that's going to be tough. Kamala Harris.
Um, I would give her a three. I think she will still have a fair number of supporters. She is the person who has run a national campaign and did it recently. She would have all the ties into the various states that is not to be undersold. I mean, that's significant. But and let's keep in mind too that in some ways we're talking about how things start. People are going to start to go with front runners. So what it might look like at the beginning is not necessarily going to be how it plays out. People will jump on a bandwagon. I also am not convinced that the Democratic candidate is one of our five here.
Hmm.
I think there's a good chance that it's going to be a governor from one of the other states, not Shapiro, but someone else, maybe Kentucky, maybe North Carolina, um, maybe Michigan. I just feel that it's probably going to be a governor. I think it's going to be someone without a whole lot of baggage that
Hmm.
could appeal to broad constituencies. So I think what we're doing is, and I think we're doing, I think right now, if you say who are the top five candidates, I would say this is a very good list. I'm not convinced though the Democratic candidate's one of these five.
Yeah, I agree. I think right now I'm just picking the front runners, but
Yeah,
like
and
again, this is
rightly
like
so.
way too early, right? It's like 3 years ahead. A lot of things
That's
can
right.
change. Barack Obama came out of nowhere in
Right.
2008, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I agree. Yellowman, what do you think?
If this based on 2024, I'll give her a five. Because I
Yeah.
was watching Trump's video and I got
Oh yeah.
Kamala Harris ad about donating. But if based on
Yeah.
2028, it's gonna be one. 'Cause I don't see
Okay.
anybody will give her money. 'Cause
Yeah.
all the money is gone and she's even owning some money. So
Well, a lot of people wonder how she spent the last money. Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
for this one, it'll be nobody willing to give her money. It's like you owe money and you don't pay back, no result. It's over.
Yeah. I agree. I'll give her a two. I just have a hard time like for those big donor who gave her a lot of money in 2024, open up the wallet and donate to her again. That's gonna be tough. Josh Shapiro, professor.
I think he will have the ability to get some money going. I'm going to give him a four. I
Hmm.
think Shapiro will have some big hitters backing him,
Hmm.
and he's streetwise. He's an astute politician. He will be able to tap into the Democratic machine effectively.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
Oh, he automatically get the APAC money, right? Or is
Yeah.
that not how it works? So
Yeah.
pretty sure he can get money.
Yeah. I'll give him a four as well. I think he will build a strong money machine. He elected for the governor twice, right? Like so he is that twice? I think he already did.
No,
Yeah.
he was elected once.
Oh, he will be running for re-election
Yeah,
sometime,
that's
right?
correct. That's
Yeah.
correct. He was
Okay.
attorney general in the state prior to that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I do think he can connect well with all the big donors. So because he is viewed as, your Democrat establishment. Debate skills, professor.
I would give Newsom a four. I think he's media savvy. I think he will be well rehearsed and well coached, and
Hmm.
I think he will handle the media effectively.
Yeah. Yelambing.
I'll give him a three. I don't think he can handle the news about he cheated on his best friend because he's just like I have no good response. And the other time he was debating the DeSantis was showing the poop map of San Francisco. He didn't say anything. He's like, oh, I don't know what to say. He need to be a little bit more like Trump, like a little bit shameless, I guess, or appear to be reformed. Like, I'm complete changed man. That's not me. I don't cheat anymore. kind of
Mm,
deal, I guess. If he doesn't do that, he's probably not gonna win any debate.
mm. I'll give him a four. I think he speak pretty well. He's sharp, and I think he could put on a show. He's still relatively younger, than the last round of a candidate. You have like a 70 years old debating 80 years old, right? It's gonna be quite a different situation in the 2028. I give him four. AOC
I
professor.
think that's kind of good thing though, because when the other guy mentioned he cheated on his best friend, he just looked very guilty. It's not like, oh, it's okay, no big deal. He
Yeah.
looked he looked guilty. He looked like he's regretting in front of everybody. So I kind of like that kind of.
Okay. So you think that shows some of the humanity?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like
Humility. Yeah.
maybe a good guy, you know.
Yeah. AOC professor.
I'm going to give my first five of the evening. I
Hmm.
think she's very skilled. I think I just love how she rebuts arguments. I think she can come back. She's well versed, I mean, well informed. And I just think she has a way of getting to root arguments and refuting attacks and other positions. She's a skilled debater.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean.
I give her a four. I think he's kind of like Trump was he was he's debating because like avoid the topic that's not good for her and just keep going at whatever she thinks is right.
Hmm.
It works, I think.
Yeah, I'll give her a five as well. I watched the Netflix documentary about her. She was like debating a top ranked Democrat incumbent, and she did very well in that debate. So apparently she put a lot of work, and she's very young. So your
Yeah.
brain functions much faster than,
Yeah.
elder people.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I
I
hear
gave
you.
him a five. Yeah. I feel the age burden as well, Professor. Like, don't get me wrong. Mayor Pitt, Professor.
Well, given that I lumped him with AOC earlier, I think I have to give him a five as well. I see. I even think back to when he ran for president last time in the debate format. He's very good.
Hmm.
He has media savvy. He maintains his composure. He's not one that gets rattled, and I think that whole grace under fire is part of how we're going to be judging all these candidates, and I think that's something he has.
Hmm. I agree. Yelan Bing, what do you think?
I'll copy Professor's answer, but I also look at the podcast. He did a 3 hour podcast with the flagrant. I think in the
Hmm.
future, if you run for president, you have to do a 3 hour conversation because then I
Okay.
can see who you are. You can't really hide for 3 hours.
Yeah. I'll give him a five as well. He is a really good debater. He went on Fox and debating all the conservative talking heads. That's impressive. I don't think Kamala Harris can do that. So,
No.
what do you think about Kamala Harris for this part?
Well, it's hard. I'm between a three and a four with her. I think of her debate performance against Trump, which I thought was very strong. But it was, it wasn't the predictive of what was going to happen in the campaign and how she used the media. So I guess if I'm pushed to it, I'd probably give her the three rather than
Hmm.
the four. Just because I think I would hope she would have learned from last time, but that was certainly disappointing in many ways last time.
Oh yeah, I agree. Yelan Bing, what do you think?
I think it's three. I don't think she's a bad debater.
Oh,
She just need to be scripted.
Oh yeah.
Need to
yeah,
be super prepared. If you call her off guard, she's gonna be like talking
right.
nonsense.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'll give her a three as well. I think she did well in the Trump debate, but the problem is like her media skill is not that great. She fumbled that easy question, and she doesn't want to be on those podcasts for like those right wing ones. You only go to the friendly ones. So that could be a bit of a problem, you know. Josh Shapiro, professor.
I'm between a 4 and a 5 here. I would probably give him a 5. And why it's not a resounding 5 is I think he has to temper the ambition part of who he is a bit and add a little bit more of the humility that comes from the heart. I think he can be too much of a grandstander at times, perceived as too ambitious. And that, while he may have just played, I personally think he would have taken that vice presidential slot if offered. Um, so I think he's going to have to temper some of his natural tendencies.
Hmm. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I'll give him a 4. I think he's very good at talking whatever topic, but I just got this feeling that he's kind of fake, and it's like I don't know how you get the feeling out of people. So just my personal feeling. So 4 because
Yeah,
that
I'm,
feeling.
yeah, I'm gonna give him a 5. I think he did very well in debate, and he could definitely go on those podcasts. So I think he want to adopt the new media format like TikTok. I think he could be relatable as well. So I'll give him a 5. Liability professor for Gavin Newsom.
Before I say that, I'm going to do a little plug for something I have coming up. So I have my own
Hmm.
YouTube channel. It's Professor RJ Placone on
Yeah,
communication excellence, and I hope people would consider a free subscription to that. I've done 20 or 21 videos so far, political, some of them I'm doing, and I'm going to be doing one in the next couple of days on how to rebrand the Democratic Party and how to limit sort of the risks that may be present in the party in general as the brand seems to be on the downward slope and how to recapture some of it. So enough of the plug. Let me answer your question. I don't see there's some risk with Newsom. There's some risk with all. I would say so. So is a high here? Remind me, is a high a poor rating? What is it still the same 1 to 5 scale, or have we flipped the 1 to 5 meaning at this point?
so here liability 5 is very high
That's what I
risk.
thought.
So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So for Newsom, I would put him at a 3. I
Hmm.
think there's risk here. I think we kind of know who he is. And rightly, we've been pointing out some of his communication challenges or his sort of rhetorical pressure points he's going to have well crafted responses for. But I would see his liability to be sort of mid range.
Hmm. You know what I mean? What do you think?
Yeah, the same 3. All I hear is he's not faithful to his wife. He didn't manage California too good, and I guess that's not super bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not super bad, I guess.
Yeah, I'll give him a 3 as well. I think he gonna get some, criticism of how he handled the fire in California and how he used all the money there. There's definitely like people complaining about his governing in California.
Yeah.
So he definitely has some liability. For
That's a
AOC,
very good point about the fire, though, and how that money was handled. A
yeah,
lot of Californians are outraged, and that would become a major story. You're absolutely right.
exactly.
I would say 4 here, just because of her youth, somewhat inexperience. See, that's why I'm leaning toward a governor here.
Hmm.
A lot of people see the Senate as just a staging ground for all those who aspire to be president. Congress is so, performative. It's just almost a joke now. So I think AOC would have there'd be a certain risk to her candidacy. Yes.
Hmm. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I would say 2.
Hmm.
So I don't see any really like horrible news about her. Just she's not very experienced. She's not very political savvy, I guess, compared to other candidate, but I don't hear any really bad news about her.
Hmm.
Well, she would be not to be, she would be by far the youngest person ever elected. I don't think we've had anyone in their 30s ever, and she would just turn 35. So I do think the risk in itself it is an issue for me. The age.
Okay. Yeah, for me, I think the liability, I'll give her a two as well. The reason I say that is like, she does not take the big corporations' money. I don't think she's going to have a lot of scandal the other candidate may have, like, go to those paid speeches and like what Hillary Clinton was facing at that time. So I think from that perspective, she would have less risk of those liabilities. Uh, Professor for Mayor Pitt, what do you think?
I would say a three. I see him similar to Newsom, where we pretty much know who he is. There's risk in diving deep into his record in South Bend. There's risk because of who he is, which is, I think, unfortunate. I don't share that perspective that should be a major issue, but I think it will be one. It's almost like, one of my all-time favorite politicians was Adlai Stevenson, and back then, a major reason why he didn't get elected was he was divorced. So these
Mm.
kind of things about one's personal life have often cropped in, and I think there's risk with Mayor Pete too.
Wow, look at that age. Like you have a candidate who didn't get elected because he is divorced. But
Yeah.
now you have the president who can have all
Well,
kind of
yes.
issues.
How times have changed, huh?
Yeah. That's fascinating. Ilami, what do you think?
Based on what I heard so far, I say four. I think being a homosexual probably a very big liability. I mean, I can understand it's totally okay for someone like P to be president, but probably not according to a lot of right-leaning person.
Yeah.
So there's a huge liability, I guess.
Yeah, I give him a three as well. I think just like you guys what you just mentioned, his identity politics could be a problem, and you know, once he become the target, like there's a lot of opposition research, and something could come out. He's a typical elite candidate, and he could have problems. Come on, Harris.
Uh, I would say I would say three. I just don't know if she's going to generate. I think the comments we made about fundraising are real. Uh, she had such a campaign war chest that just they had campaign strategies that were never implemented. I'm just not sure. I'm not. I think she's been scrutinized fairly closely. I don't think there are going to be any surprises, but I do think there would be a certain amount of risk to her candidacy.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, what do you think?
I guess I have to stay consistent. Five.
Five? Okay.
Because everything she did in the past becomes a liability. Because when you hire somebody, you look at the past performance. She failed very badly. Would you pick someone like that to have a second chance? It's very hard. So for that
Yeah.
alone, it's a five level liability.
Yeah, I think I have a different interpretation of the liability than you guys. I think more about like, do you have any political scandal? Do you have any major issues that are going to cause a certain block of the voters like not coming out to vote for you? For that part, I will give her a two because from last cycle, the Trump administration was like the Trump team was attacking her on some of the issues. I don't see those are big liabilities. I think the reason she lost is not because of the liability she has. Like it's all because of the other stuff she didn't do well. She did not cut clean from Biden, and she inherited a lot of the baggage from the incumbent administration because that current president is not popular. So,
See,
um,
I view it in part that is what is the risk to the down ticket in the party too.
mhm.
So I think sometimes the head of the ticket can really cause senators to lose, congressmen to
Oh
lose.
yeah, yeah.
And so I see that in this risk question. That's part of how I'm interpreting it too.
Hmm.
Um, I,
Yeah, I
I
understand it as something that will affect your election. It's not
yeah,
something you do right now. It's something in the past or something you cannot change. Your sexual orientation, your ethnicity, that kind of
yeah,
liability, I
Hmm.
guess.
good.
So Josh Shapiro, professor.
I would say it too. I think um, I don't, if Shapiro would be able to get through the primary process, I don't think there are going to be many surprises with him. I think he would be well positioned as a leader of the ticket to carry it through. I think he could appeal to independent voters, but there's certainly some risk in him in this process. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I'll say a four. So when I think about this person, it automatically comes to Israel. So that alone is like a very, very big liability. I don't know how you're gonna change that.
Okay. I'll give him a two as well. I just don't think there will be a lot of political scandal against him. He seems like your typical midway
Mhm,
politician who have a big exposure to the middle ground voters who doesn't like the extremist candidate from both parties.
mhm.
So yeah, I gave him a two. All right, I think we finished all the voting here. Let's look at the weighted basis, like the final score, normalized scoring. The top one is Gavin Newsom, 72 average score. The next is Josh Shapiro. The third is AOC, Mayor Pitt, and Kamala Harris.
That's
So, yeah,
that's a pretty good ranking, actually, for me.
yeah.
I you know,
Do you
Yeah,
think we see Gavin Newsom and Josh Shapiro like ticket? That would be like two alpha males, right? Like,
yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that.
yeah,
That
yeah.
would be they wouldn't jive together. That I just don't think so. And I think two white males for the Democrats would be very difficult.
I think Gavin Newsom AOC or Shapiro AOC ticket would be a
Yeah,
good one, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Shapiro AOC, I could see. Gavin Newsom, I don't know. It could be seen as just two left. Um,
Oh, maybe Gavin Newsom was Mayor Pitt or other candidate, right? Like we have a second
yeah,
tier candidate.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of folks that could. I also think of this time as I think I mentioned our last one. We got Jimmy Carter after Richard Nixon. Carter had 4% name recognition at the beginning of that campaign. I think some of these governors that are getting in the news primarily because of threats to go into their states with National Guard. I think one of them could emerge as a player here. And then you see who goes through the process. I mean, at least the Democrats will have a process this go around. They're going to vet the candidates, and we're going to have a more, in some ways, legitimate candidate because they've come through the primary process and have won the votes through the primary process. So I think there'd be more support for whoever it is.
I agree. I think
yeah,
there's a lot of like really strong governors there,
Yeah.
but like they're just not well known, like have a lot of media coverage. But maybe in 2028 primary, you could have a very different playground.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I could have named the governor of Illinois 2 months
Yeah.
ago, but
Yeah.
he's certainly been in the news a lot. I didn't know much about Wes Moore until a few months ago. So
Yeah.
sometimes these people, and like you pointed out earlier, it's a long way off. I mean, we've got a lot of years here to go.
Yeah. So right now, I think last time I checked those betting market, the Newsom is like 32% of all the probabilities. So that's a huge bump from a few months ago.
Yeah, I mean, all of the polling is showing what he is doing is getting attention, and for many folks, they're happy he's doing it. Not everyone, for sure. Um, the MAGA crowd is very enraged by it, and
Yeah.
for the Democrats, by and large, it's viewed favorably.
Yeah. You see, Gavin Newsom 35%, 10% for AOC, 6% for Westmore, 6% for Mayor Pitt, Andy 5%, and Kamala
Kentucky,
Harris
yeah.
5%. Yeah. Judge
Yeah, see,
Shapiro
some of those
4%.
governors have shown up. Even Whitmer, we didn't talk about her from Michigan. Yeah, John Stewart. Yeah, people want John Stewart to run,
Oh,
Mark
I really
Rubin to
want John
run,
Stewart to
Stephen A.
work.
Smith to run. Yeah,
I think John Stewart could be a good candidate, you know.
I think he's a very bright man.
Uh-huh.
It's very
Stephen A.
funny, very
Smith,
funny, man.
2% here.
The
Stephen A.
Rock. I see
Smith.
The Rock on there, huh?
That's a little bit too much. The Rock.
Yeah, we had Ronald Reagan at one point, so yeah,
Yeah.
that was enough.
So, yeah. Yeah, I think it could be interesting. I would love to see the primary debate, like when those guys got on the stage. So the Republican side, the other day, I don't know if you watched the news, like JD Vance was talking about he's ready to become the president if there's
Yeah,
something happened to Trump, and then there's speculation that Trump is dying, which is like a kind of rumor going on.
I don't think there's much to it. He's probably has his health issues. I mean, he's an overweight 79-year-old. Every overweight 79-year-old has some issues.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he's going to be around.
Okay. Yeah. You see, JD Vance is like 53%, and yeah, Tucker Carlson 3%. Ron DeSantis 3%. Stephen Bannon 4%. Wow.
There. Okay, I'm not even going to comment on those numbers.
3% for your favorite candidate,
I'm
Donald
not going
Trump
to
Jr.
comment. No, I think
Okay.
Vance, again, as we talked about last time, it all depends on how the Trump administration plays out. If the
Yeah.
Trump administration internationally and for pocketbook turns out to be a successful administration, Vance is going to be the front runner and is going to be a formidable candidate.
Oh yeah. If it's like if it's like 2008, George W. Bush GOP, then JD Vance will be probably buried. Like,
That's right.
yeah. All right. So I think we had the pod down. We have a good ranking of all the candidates. Thank you all for recording this podcast. And I'm going to do some editing. And for all the audience watching this podcast, do not forget to subscribe to Professor's channel. It's going to be fun there.
Thank you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Have a
All
good
right.
one, everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Professor. Thank you,
All
Yang
right.
Bing.
See you.
See you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.